So at this show, we've been accused of being anti-vax. We are anti-mandate. We are anti-mandate at the show for many reasons, scientific and from a lefty worker perspective. We're against mandates. But guess what just happened? Federal court temporarily blocks Biden's vaccine mandate for larger businesses. That just happened. Federal appeals court on Saturday temporarily halted the Biden administration's vaccine requirement for businesses with 100 or more workers. Look, that just happened. The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals granted an emergency stay of the requirement by the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, that such workers be vaccinated by January 4th or face mask requirements and weekly tests. Hey, since when is it overstepping legal authority to mandate an invasive medical procedure? Am I right? Come on. Next, you're going to tell me we shouldn't sterilize the poor. Come on. The stay came 2 days after the Biden administration unveiled the rule, and 7 days after Biden shit his pants meeting the Pope, but only 3 days after he farted on the Duchess of Cornwall. I measure time now in Biden bathroom accident rumors. That's how I... The stay came 2 days after the Biden administration unveiled the rule, which immediately met with vows of legal action from Republican governors and others who argued it overstepped the administration's legal authority. On Saturday, the Louisiana Attorney General, Jeff Landry, said the stay stopped Joe Biden from moving forward with his unlawful overreach. The president will not impose medical procedures on the American people without the checks and balances afforded by the Constitution, the Republicans said in a statement. Yeah, the state can't impose medical procedures, like sterilizing the poor, lobotomizing the criminally insane, science stuff. The Fifth Circuit, based in New Orleans, said it was delaying the federal vaccine requirement because of potential grave statutory and constitutional issues raised by the plaintiffs. In a statement on Saturday, the Solicitor of Labor, Seema Nanda, said the Department of Labor was confident in its legal authority to issue the rule. It's like how the federal government can still arrest you for pot, right? Sure, maybe it's legal in your state, but that doesn't mean it's okay with Big Pharma. So, yeah, they're confident. So we'll see. Let's go. Federal law explicitly gives OSHA the authority to act quickly in an emergency where the agency finds that workers are subjected to a grave danger and a new standard is necessary to protect them. Guess what? White House tells businesses to proceed with the vaccine mandate anyway. To violate the court's order and just do it anyway. Doesn't that sound stuff like if Trump did that, wouldn't they go, he's a dictator, he's breaking all the norms, he's not following the law? That's exactly what they would do. But Joe Biden's doing it. Joe Biden, the real authoritarian, ladies and gentlemen. The White House on Monday said businesses should move forward with President Joe Biden's vaccine and testing requirement for private businesses, despite a federal appeals court ordering a temporary halt to the rules. People should not wait, White House Deputy Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters during a briefing. They should continue to move forward and make sure they're getting the workplace vaccinated, just like Big Pharma told us. The Republican Attorney General in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Utah, as well as several companies, requested the pause. They argued that the requirements exceed the authority of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, which would enforce the mandates and amount to an unconstitutional delegation of power to the executive branch by Congress. If you'd have told me 4 years ago that Texas, Utah, Mississippi, and South Carolina would be in court advocating my body, my choice, I would have accused you of being a Russian traitor. David Vladek, a professor of law at Georgetown University, said there's a high probability that the case will end up before the Supreme Court. Really? So this battle between state and federal government may go all the way to the Supreme Court, and from there, it's up to Pfizer. You want to know who else is against mandates, or was when they had integrity? They never. Last year, this is Dr. Fauci, August 2020. Here we go.
And do you foresee that the vaccine might be mandated for any populations, perhaps for school-age children?
No, I don't think you'll ever see a mandating of vaccine, particularly for the general public. Sometimes in the health sector, like in my hospital here at NIH, you're not going to be allowed to go on the ward unless you get a flu vaccine. But you would never mandate, at least I do not think you would. I'd be pretty surprised if you mandated it for any element of the general public.
Now, as a primary care physician myself, who's had many conversations around vaccine safety with patients, I'm curious, what's our contingency plan for people who might refuse the vaccine?
Well, I mean, they have every right to refuse vaccine. I don't think you need a contingency plan. If someone refuses the vaccine in the general public, then there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot force someone to take a vaccine.
Right.
Bam. So that's how it works in this country. That's the brilliance of our system, right? We have checks and balances. That's why we have the branches of government. There's the legislative, the judicial, the executive branch, the AstraZeneca, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the MCU. And they all have to work this stuff out. In the meantime, do as you're told. Nancy Pelosi also against the mandates.
So here's the thing. We cannot require someone to be vaccinated. That's just not what we can do. It is a matter of privacy to know who is or who isn't.
There you go. Someone else who's against the vaccines. So there you go. You know, want to know who else is against them? Joe Biden. Hey, Joe Biden, are you for vaccine mandates? Are you for mandates?
No, I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power. Just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
What? He looks like it's the first time he ever held a mask. Anyway. So there you go. We're against the mandates. The judge is against the mandates. People are against the mandates. I'm against the mandates. Professor Richard Wolff, the Marxist economist, is against them. We're all against the mandates, and we're against the. I'm also against the vaccination of children who are not vulnerable. So that would be a big one. So there you go. That's the position of this show. Now, someone will take this video and tell you that we're anti-vax and we're this and we're right-wingers and we're being paid by Assad and being paid by Putin, and that everyone, they're going to tell you everything about this show because this show is popular, because people like it, because we don't play party politics. We're not in a tribe. I don't defend the Democratic Party. I don't defend the Republican Party. I blast them both, mostly the Democratic Party, because they're the ones who pretend to represent people like me. I want to let you know, on November 6th, we're going to be in Baltimore. November 11th, we're in Tempe, Arizona. November 12th, we're doing Los Angeles and Studio City. November 19th, Los Angeles and Studio City. And then Thanksgiving weekend in Portland, Oregon. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all those tickets.